Okay, here we are outside the Bank of New Hampshire stage. This is the exterior shot at night. The marquee is not fully lit up, and you can probably hear a movie in the background behind me. It is market days, and we're still going here outside, so I'm going to go inside where it's a little quieter, but I did want to get you a view of the outside, particularly at night. The lights are shining bright. That is our ticket window to the street. Not quite open for business at the moment. We are open Monday through Friday, noon to 6 p.m. Capitol Center for the Arts and Bank of New Hampshire stage box office is in the building. And the Capitol Center for the Arts owns both venues, basically. So, okay. I'm just going to lock myself in, just so we don't have any unwanted visitors this time of night. All right, the vestibule is complete. This is our market days tabletop information for the booth that we have outside. The Bank of New Hampshire branch office is behind the doors there. They've been in there all week getting ready. They open officially on Monday, June 24th at noon. That's also the day we're doing a ribbon cutting for the new venue. All right. So here we are in the lobby, finally. We have the original LED, well, they weren't LED at the time, but we have the Art Deco sconces hanging on the wall. Let's see if the camera adjusts. These are really quite nice. Been repainted, cleaned up, refurbished, converted to LEDs. Our box office, yes, it's still a little messy, but we're working on that, is right over here. All these kiosks are movable, and although we don't have the signs up yet, you can see a LED bar light up there. That's takes a piece of acrylic, so that will light up with our logos saying will call or purchase tickets, etc. Those signs are not made yet, so hey, we're gonna open without them, and that's okay. Ladies' room is over there on the left. Our grab-and-go case. No, it is not stocked yet. We got our certificate of occupancy late Thursday afternoon. Then we had to turn around to get our liquor permit application in and get our health inspection done as well, which passed. Everything's good to go. But our food order, because of market days closing the street out front, and because the food would have had to have been delivered right on Thursday, we missed the window to order. So we will be providing some food tomorrow night's show, which is the opening night, June 22nd, at Balloon at 10 p.m. And we're just going to set that food out as a free option for folks, but we will open our bar. All right. So here we are in the lobby. The elevator is functional now. Everything's been, like I said, inspected, passed. The side entrance is over there. Yes, there's some cardboard on the floor that we will take up. It was raining yesterday and this morning, and the less stuff we track in, the better. So let's go into the theater. Usually I start upstairs, but let's go downstairs. So over to the left is a doorway into the theater. Storage, and another entry into the theater. So let's go this way. And walk in. And again, the entrance to the kitchen is right there to the right. And we're looking forward to getting that up and running next week for next week's shows. All right, and then we walk into here, and our seating system is retracted. So 176 seats right there. Looking pretty good. 11 rows stacked one on top of each other, sitting directly under the front row of the balcony. So tomorrow night's show will be an open general admission floor. The balcony is reserved seating. Out here, while we're doing general admission, we will set up a portable bar in this area. So we'll have a bar at the back of the audience area. Drink rails on either side, and coat hooks eventually. Not there yet. Don't need them. It's the summer. And I think we've seen this a little bit. Let me see if I can back up. So the lighting rig went up in the air this week. And let's just try to get a good shot of it because it's a unique shape that was developed for us. Steve Martin, our director of production and facilities, and I were talking about the truss one day way back when, and my original thought was, well, we'll just do a box truss up there, it'll look pretty good. And Steve said, wow, I really want something a little different, something with some curves. And so this was developed, and we just love it. It is a pretty cool thing. So that hangs directly over the audience and the seating when it's pulled out. And quite a few lighting instruments on there. Almost everything is LED moving light fixtures. I think the lighting package, there's a little over 50, 60 instruments up there. Color washes, spots, zooms, and even the truss itself has 15 of its own lights to light up the truss, because why not? It looks pretty cool. All right, so the plastic on the stage we will take off. And sorry, folks, this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual. It's late and I'm talkative. So the stage was painted black. The Viz Queen up here will be taken off. It was just, there's so much equipment, we wanted to keep it as fresh looking as possible. Audio systems in place. You might notice that we don't have any drapes yet, and we won't for the opening act. Those are on the way, but we're going to deal with it because that's what we do. It's theater. It's still going to look great. It's going to sound great, but it won't be in its finished form. And actually, there's several components, if you will, that still need to be done. Oops, sorry for that. So this is the view from the very back of the stage, right against the back wall. It's really going to be pretty cool, I think. And sorry I don't have any video of the lighting truss in action. We've been writing cues and such for the last day or two, and it's pretty cool. I know. Backstage, dressing rooms to the left, and a green room. Looks like they turned the lights off on me, so I will turn those back on. The mirrors made it in, which is great. Makeup lights, counters. We'll put some chairs out, ready to roll tomorrow. And then we'll walk down to the green room. The other dressing room looks just the same. It's just a little larger. The green room is not green. They don't always have to be green. But we have this lovely love seat in here that we picked up at a consignment shop in downtown Concord, which we love. Nikki Clark, our executive director, has found some tables and a little bit of furniture here and there to get the room started. We still do have to finish hanging a monitor on that wall. That's my task. You might have noticed as we walk through, there are more than a dozen monitors at this point. And it just seems like the thing to do nowadays. And probably the biggest thing that's not done here yet, we're waiting on it to arrive, is this back wall. Almost the entire surface of the back wall, except for the bottom 2 feet and probably the top 2 feet, is going to be covered in 20 inch by 20 inch, actually 500 millimeters by 500 millimeters, but 20 inch by 20 inch LED panels. Building a high def wall, the pixel count is 1920 by 1152. And for those of you that know video resolutions, high def is considered 1920 by 1080. So we were just a little bigger than high def, but when we're running movies, that won't matter. All right, let's wander around, take a look upstairs, come back out of the theater, exiting after the performance, making sure we throw our trash away. This is the portable bar that we'll have in the back of the theater. We use this system, actually I'll show it off upstairs. It's called Bottoms Up. So we have 6 beers on tap down here and 8 beers on tap upstairs. So we'll walk up there now. Trying not to be shaky. I usually pause it at this point, but hey, you're going to listen to me talk, and I'm going to come up here, and we have this really nice little view of the marquee as well on the outside. Maybe my reflection's covering it too much, so let's ignore that. Yeah, you could tell I'm tired. Been in this building too many hours to count the last few weeks. But here we are upstairs. And our second floor, so let's look here. It looks like a big empty wall, and it is, quite frankly, at the moment. But we are going to put our history display here. This building started out its life as a bakery. It was the J.C. Norris Bakery. Closed down it was opened in the 1800s. Supplied hardtack to Union soldiers during the Civil War. They made biscuits, they made other things as well that a bakery would make. And somewhere in the 1920s, late 1920s, the bakery closed down, and it was then converted into a movie theater. And up here used to be an apartment, some offices, the projection booth, and we've gutted it all out and created this wonderful bar space, which is pretty cool. And you can see there's a partial beer here. And the bottom of the cup has this really cool metal ring and a magnet that sits over the hole that's in there. And when you put it down on top of the beer tap there, the magnet lifts up, there's a little post, and then the beer flows up from the bottom, hence the name Bottoms Up. And it pours a perfectly poured draft beer in less than 4 seconds. So we can serve long lines fast, which we get at intermissions, of course. Everything has to move quickly in the theater. But that's the system. You can adjust the quantities, etc. And it's a lot of fun. Point of sale system is just a square system. I've set those up tonight. Still have some work on those to do for tomorrow. Still going to build in a few more things back here, but we do have a 3-bay sink up here. Like I said, this building, if you've watched any of the previous videos, I'm just amazed with the plumbing codes and health codes, how many sinks are needed. This is just a bar with 2 bartenders, and we run a similar bar at the other building in a portable format where we don't have any of this stuff. We just have the bottoms up system. But here's sink number 1, hand sink, only to use for washing hands. Then we have, another hand sink. And that's an ice bin next to that with a cash drawer on top of it. But here's hand sink number 2. Then we have the 3-bay sink, of course, because you have to have that. And then over here, another ice bin. And yes, hand sink number 3. So 1, 2, 3 single hand sinks and a 3-bay unit. That's a lot of sinks. All right, moving on. We've kept the old manager's office door, and we had a little signing party here the other night. Just the staff and the board came in, sort of christened the building, if you will, with a champagne toast before we turned it over to the public and doing shows. And unfortunately, some of the Sharpies were done in silver, some were done in black, so you can't really see too much. But there's board members, staff members, everybody on this project, worked hard to get this thing done. And whether they were in the office or here on site, and quite frankly, when they were in the office doing our jobs for us, as we were on site quite a bit, it was a huge team effort to get this project going. So our observation portals, our glass windows, are in, and although they look like you can't see through them, you can, just the way the lighting is. So that's cool. We're almost done. We're on the home stretch. Great. So here's our balcony. Oops, got to pay attention to where the camera is. So we will have bar stools as the last row, starting where that vacuum is, making their way this way, with some ADA seats here at the back, right behind row T. All right. And then over on house right side, our lighting and audio systems, control racks, nice console area, good work area. A lot of times production folks get squeezed into the most uncomfortable of spaces trying to run shows, and we knew that we didn't want that here. We wanted to provide a good experience for everyone, including our staff, and so our production folks are taken care of with a front row seat in the balcony and able to focus their attention on the show exclusively. So there we go, and that's the lighting truss, and those little twisty shapes there in the middle of the screen are little helix truss pieces, which are a brand new product that we've picked up for this. It added a nice cool structural element to the system. They did start putting in our surround sound speakers because we do broadcast Met Opera here live all 10 Saturdays for next year's season. And we'll get the satellites up on the roof and tested over the summer. The Met series starts in the fall. All right, so for those of you that have been with us and have watched a lot of these videos, or at least snippets of them, thank you so much. If you're in town, if you're near Concord, if you just want to stop by and say hi as you're passing through, feel free to get in touch. We're easy to reach. It's Capital Center for the Arts and / Bank of New Hampshire Stage. Our main phone number is 603-225-1111. And just go through the phone directory. If you want to talk to me, I'm extension 108. Pretty easy to reach. And or you can just email me at joe@ccanh.com. Pretty easy. Oh, let's not do the stairs. Going to take the elevator. We waited a long time to get the elevator to a point where we could actually use it, which was immediately after the inspection. It's slightly larger than the elevator that we have at the main theater at the Capital Center for the Arts. And you got to remember that space down there is 1,300 seats. This building is about 298 seats now that we've gotten our official capacities from the fire department and our permit of assembly and our entertainment license. And that's in a fully seated configuration. If we're doing standing room down below and then the balcony seats, total capacity goes up around 434. I'm not exactly sure of the final count there. At least not that I can tell you right now. But there you have it. This is our new theater. We're excited. We hope you come. If you're nearby within an hour or a couple of hours, come see a show. Most of our shows are very affordable. You'll see some great entertainment up here that, for $15, $20, $25, you won't see it in a lot of other places unless you travel to Boston, Portland, Maine, etc. So we think we've got something good here. We hope you think so too, and please feel free to get in touch and come and see a show. And that is it. It is the final week of walkthrough. It's been almost a full year, and we are done and opening tomorrow night. Signing off now. That's it, everybody. Good night.